Diane in Denmark here, rah, rah, rah. It is Monday morning, and you know me, I love Mondays. It always feels like a fresh start. And this week, if you're following the Flylady Zone, Flylady Zones for your cleaning and decluttering and household management, we are dans la cuisine. We're in the kitchen, which is zone 2. And if you've been watching my channel for a while, you probably think, gosh, we've just been in the kitchen. Yeah, that's the great thing about the Flylady system. It really kind of keeps the interest in keeping up your home fresh, because we're moving from one area to the next, so we're not kind of getting stuck in one area. Now, I've got a couple of things for you today, but before we get into that, just a little reminder. You saw me 2 weeks ago. I did a declutter of Halloween stuff, and I know a lot of you then thought, oh, too early to be thinking about Halloween. We are like 2 weeks away from Halloween, so if you were planning to make a costume for the kids, if you were planning to order one online, if you're hosting some kind of party or expecting people to be knocking at your door looking for sweets, get that onto your list for this week. I'm going to be putting out a few decorations. We've also got some chestnuts and stuff going on. But just a wee reminder about that. And I hope you've had a great weekend. It is freezing in here in Denmark this morning. We've had below freezing, so if you're out on your bike today, remember earmuffs, scarf, glove, muffler, the whole shebang. It is the grass, the lawn outside is white. Anyway, what are we going to do today? I made, along with you, some of you joined in with this, we made a house management journal. We've been working on that the last couple of weeks. I've called mine Who Go Home, and in there we've been putting all the basic things like, you know, your morning routine and your evening routine. Here's mine, check, check, check. And also things like meal planning ideas, emergency telephone numbers. And I told you I also have in here the Flylady cleaning lists for the zones. Now we're in zone 2 this week. Let me just get zone 2. And also I had quite a lot of questions both on Instagram and on YouTube here. Where do I keep my folder? Where do I keep my binder? I keep it right next to the bread bin. Mine is quite thin, and it's just kind of standing up like that, and it's right next to the bread bin, so it's easy for me to access. But it's not kind of, you know, I don't have it lying out on the counter the whole time. Anyway, zone 2, and you remember you can print out, you know, detailed cleaning lists and whatever from the Flylady website. There's tons of them on Pinterest. But don't stop to start printing. Just work along with me today. Otherwise, you can go into the Flylady website and see the missions for the week. Flylady puts out 5 missions for each zone per week. You don't have to do all 5, just pick one and do it and get started. And I've also told you that and I like to also shop by zone. So when we're in zone 2, the kitchen this week, I'll be thinking about, do we need a kitchen roll? What about washing up liquid? What's the other thing? Rinseage, you know, for the dishwasher. All those things like that. You can get them onto your grocery list for MD. So that I like to kind of keep things by zone. You know, rubber gloves, but I've got a basic list that I work through when we're in the zone. And remember, I'm not ticking off everything on the list. I'm just doing a few things. And I'll also tell you what I started at weekend. If you follow me on Instagram, this won't be new to you. But I dug out I've got a little jar of spare paint for the kitchen and for the bathrooms. And what I did, I've got my wee painting brushes, and I've just done along the edges here. Hold on, let me see. Behind the sink. I've done these bits here, and there were a few scuffs and scratches on the walls, so I've repainted those. And then later on today, I'm also going to do the white parts in here, because they've got a bit messy as well. It's not something that I'm doing every month, but it's just nice when we're in the zone. if you're really up to date with your decluttering and your cleaning, you can start adding in little projects. And what I normally do is I've got my little jar of paint just for doing little touch-up jobs. And when I've got my paintbrushes, normally I'll give it 2 coats. From one day to the next, I put them in a plastic bag, just make sure there's no air in it, and then I can use it the next day without washing off the brushes, and then the next day you're starting with a soggy brush. So that's my little extra project for today. But let's get into what I've decided today is just to do the fronts of the cabinets, and I'll talk you through it. And I'm just going to use one of the, and normally when I'm cleaning in the kitchen, I don't have to bring in my little cleaning caddy, you've seen this 100 times, because in the kitchen I've got some purple rags with my stuff underneath the sink, and I've got actually some kitchen cleaner, and this is one which you don't need to wash off afterwards, you just spray, wipe and go. So anyway, if you want to work along with me, do that. I'm going to be your timer for today. And I'm just going to set the timer for a few minutes because I've got places to go, people to see. So and I hope you're dressed to shoes, because don't start any decluttering and cleaning unless you're dressed to shoes. Make sure you get your morning routine done or your evening routine done before you launch into any of this. So anyway, come over here. All right, here we go. I'm just giving a quick scoosh scoosh. Just do the sides as well. And actually this is one of these jobs that, while I'm waiting for dinner to cook, I can do a couple of the cabinets. Here. Down below. Because often in the evening, just while I'm waiting to do things, I'll just go along all the handles. And remember, you don't need to be doing the same thing as me. I'm just keeping you company. Because that's one of the things that I love, of the Flylady system, that I know somebody else is working along with me somewhere around the globe. Anyway, just move a wee bit backwards, just taking one at a time. And if you haven't cleaned out underneath your sink for a while, you may want to do that. This is where we keep, underneath my sink, I've got recycling bins for paper, glass, metal, and for plastic. We usually empty those once a day. The general rubbish, and then the other one I keep things for, I've got my rubber gloves, dishwasher tabs, rinse aid for the dishwasher, and that keeps it handy. There we are. And we're just giving it a quick wipe down. But I don't even need so much of the spray, I'm just going to dampen my cloth a bit. There we are. And this one here at the sink always gets a bit more dirty. So of course this is where all the rubbish is going. Okay, that's that one. And I'm just going to turn over my cloth. Remember, I fold my cloth into 6ths, so it saves me taking out 3,000 different cloths. Okay, and then the front of the dishwasher, that also can get quite grubby. When I tell you what, I'll take off my bangles because I can hear they're jangling. Right, and then underneath, right down on the bottom, you're probably just looking at my grey hair, my little crown, or my halo of grey hair, or my silver hair I should say. Right, moving on to the next one, hold on. Okay, let's keep going. Scoosh, 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 scoosh. And for all those who have asked, our kitchen's Pog and Pole. It's German design. They do very classic kitchens, and we like it because it fits really well with the style of the house. We have a house which is in Funkies style. That's what Funkies. That's the Danish name for it. The other name that you might be familiar with is international style, which is like from the 1930s design. Right, okay, that's the front of these cabinets. And then probably this evening when I'm cooking dinner, I'll do the other side. Remember, you don't need to do all the cabinets in one go. Just, you know, if you've got 5 minutes, I mean, that wasn't even 5 minutes there. I've done the cabinets here, and also, you know, we've got these ones right underneath. So that's that done. And then let me tell you about something else, just hold on. We've talked before about decluttering in the zones. And I've said to you, just go for like one cabinet, not one cabinet, one drawer or one shelf when you're in the zone that week. You don't need to be decluttering everything, because what happens is once you've got the drawer organised, this is the one which is underneath our oven, and in here I've got you know, plastic bags, things for making packed lunches. In Denmark we use packed lunch paper, so that's a special type of paper. We hardly use any tin foil, not good for the environment. And I've said to you, once you've got the drawer organised, it's really nice and easy to be able to put stuff away, to find stuff, so that it's never getting messy again. I haven't touched this since, was it 2 months ago I showed you this one? Hold on, if we can go in a wee bit closer. Come closer, my darling. Come closer. There we are. You can see here we've got our special chopsticks that we've got in Japan with our names on it in Japanese. And you know, I keep things like elastic bands and stuff, instant pot manuals. Once you've got it organised, it's really easy to put things away, and it's not getting messy again. It's much easier to maintain. And let's go over to the other drawer that I showed you. Okay, this is another one that I showed you, I think 2 months ago. This is one of the drawers. You know, we have these cabinets which have the extra space right down on the floor. And this is where I keep my tea towels, which I'd kind of KonMari'd. And the only difference I've made since the last time, and this is my oven gloves, extra apron. The apron that I'm using right now will go in the wash, and I'll be using this one, so I'll just take that one out. The only thing that I've changed in here to make it more contained is I've got an old box, I don't know what it was, not a shoe box, a small box, and in there I've put old cleaning cloths if anybody needs, you know, if there are messes or spills at parties, and the little pads for my squish mop. So in here I just have the tea towels and hand towels. You know, I put out a fresh one every day. And even now I can see, like this one here, this one I'm going to, hold on, take you up a bit. I feel a bit weird not being able to see and talk to you at the same time. This one is getting a wee bit stained now, and this one I'm just going to immediately put into this box, and this is going to be one that's used for rags. Oh, and just while we're in here, I was doing a declutter session, you know, in the basement the other week, and I was going through some of the kids stuff. You know, for the kids we've got a box of memorabilia and all those kind of fun things that they end up from school, and you know, swimming badges, stuff like that. And I found this one which belonged to one of my kids, and it was a tea towel that I helped to get organised to make. I was on the party committee at nursery, the kids' nursery. And I won't show you all the kind of names and things, or the name of the nursery, but you can see what happened is all the kids, and this is from 2004, all the kids drew a picture of themselves. Now remember, this is nursery kids, and the adults who are working in the different nursery rooms, Kirsten and Anne and Maria. And I had them made up into tea towels, and we sold these to raise money for something. So the kids had some extra ones in their memorabilia boxes, and I thought we don't need to have lots of I've kept one each for the kids, so they can have them when they move into a flat just for fun. And this other one I'm using here now. So you will see, and I know some of you have already seen it hanging there, but I just think it's a nice memory. So and also all the other tea towels that you see me sharing, most of them have come from, you know, any kind of vacation or holiday that we go on. Like this one was from Nice, and this one is from Paris. I really like tea towels as a clutter-free souvenir because I use them, and then when they get stained and really badly stained, this was beginning to get stained, then I just turn them into rags and use them for that. So anyway, let's go up a bit and I'll finish off and send you on your merry way. This one is going to go in the wash. My apron, which I have been using, that's going to go in the wash. Just throw them down there. I've taken out this one, and I wanted to give you a little update. Do you remember I was talking about the scrubby that I had bought? It was when my besties and I did a little day trip to Sweden. I'll put a link up there if you want to see, you know, when I've travelled to Brussels or Greece or Japan. They're all in my Denmark Hygge and travel playlist. Anyway, I bought this scrubby in the coffee shop. Do you remember there was it was called Cafe, I think it was, Java Tea House. Fantastic tea house in Lund in Sweden. Anyway, I bought one of these and I thought, well, I'll just see how it works. It is fantastic. And then I ended up buying a set of more scrubbies. Now, the only thing I'll say is apparently it came from the same firm. But I don't like the colours of these ones. They look a bit grimy before you even get started. But I have one upstairs now in the bathroom. I have one down here in the kitchen. I have one downstairs in the washing room next to our tool room. So I'm really enjoying using these, and you can put them, like I would put them in a wee bag before you put them in the hot wash, because they are kind of scratchy. But I love them because they don't leave any marks, and they're great for cleaning like the top of the stove, your pots and pans, and you don't even need any product. And you know me, I'm not kind of throwing tons of product things when I clean them. And I've found one really good thing that can clean. You know, if you've got one of these little egg timers that you put in the water to boil, we have quite a lot of chalk build up, what do you call it, lime scale in our water here. The water is quite hard, and this one quite often kind of gets white, but I found that with a wee scrubby it looks as good as new. And one cleaning article which I bought also in Sweden recently in a Swedish supermarket was one of these, in Swedish it's called Flygsuddare. Fläck means like a stain. So I'm just at the squirrel outside. He's hiding nuts outside, and he thinks, and I don't know what he's doing with them. Flygsuddare, which means like a stain eraser. Or I think in other countries they call them like a magic sponge. Now I tried this and I found it was absolutely useless. So this one is going, but actually the little scrubby thing I've enjoyed using. So there you go. And just do a little, a few minutes here and there when you're in the kitchen this week. Remember, it doesn't need to be, you don't need to be doing 15 minutes every day. I don't know why people have this idea that they need to be cleaning, in the zone 15 minutes every day. Just do a little bit. The problem for us is getting started and stopping again. So I really recommend using the timer and sticking to that, because you'll find that if you're consistent with your morning routine, your evening routine, adding the weekly home blessing hour, and just a wee bit of work in the zone every week, the kitchen is almost cleaning itself, and then you can spend time, starting with the little projects of doing a wee bit of paintwork. And also must tell you, this weekend my DS19, my dear son 19, he wanted to cook dinner, and he cooked okonomiyaki on, was it Saturday night, which is a Japanese kind of pancake thing. And my daughter, she baked muffins yesterday, and it was really nice. They could just come in, they know where everything is in the kitchen, they clear up, and it just all works. So anyway, just a wee word of encouragement, just keep going and show your kids, that you are picking up and putting things away, and just doing a wee spit of cleaning now and then, and they will catch up. So anyway, on that note, I'm going to say live long and prosper. May the Danish hooker be with you. Hope it's a wee bit warmer where you are. I shake the pom-poms if you need a wee rah-rah-rah, and a pat in the back for what you're doing. And I will see you probably Wednesday and Friday. So anyway, on that note, I shall see you very soon. Okay, bye for now.